Africa is a continent of young people, with 75% of the population below the age of 35 and nearly 50% under the age of 19.
Yet across Africa, instability, climate-related security, weak state capacity, the 10 years rule of law, amendment or removal of term limits, high inequality, illegitimate elections, inadequate judicial systems, and corruption continue to erode our democracy.
Lack of institutional capacity undermines youth engagement in African democracies, from low visibility of youth as voters, limited capacity of youth-led advocacy, cultural attitudes, underrepresentation or exclusion of youth in decision-making, loss of trust in democracy, online disinformation and misinformation, hence persistently hindering young people's participation, especially in leadership roles.
The Youth Democracy Cohort report on youth political and civic engagement shows declining empowerment and engagement with regard to supporting youth in governance, youth freedom of expression, promotion of political participation, and a human rights culture.
This calls for African youth-centered advocacy action, recognizing the importance of youth democratic participation and inclusion in Africa so as to address these challenges. The Youth Cafe will partner with Youth Democracy Cohort and youth member organizations through various complementary interventions in Kenya, Ghana, Zambia, and Central African Republic through the Ignite Africa Youth Project.
This will be achieved through an assessment of the current state of youth engagement, especially young women in political and civic processes, capacity building, communications campaigns, coaching and mentorship, advocacy and engagement, as well as monitoring and evaluation.
Targeting young people from sub-Saharan Africa countries, namely Zambia, Kenya, Central African Republic, and Ghana, as well as recognizing that youth is not a homogeneous group.
The Ignite African Youth Project seeks to increase youth engagement, especially young women from Africa, in active and meaningful roles in the democratic processes due to strengthened and enhanced political and civic capacities, as well as raising awareness on the Summit for Democracy and the name of possible commitments.
Join us as we continue to push boundaries, break youth-centered barriers, and increasing youth-generated and focused knowledge of democratic governance in Africa through the Ignite African Youth Project.
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 The Ignite African Youth Project.